Good morning everyone and welcome to term 2 of Beach School. Before I explain the content of today's session, can I just show you this amazing classroom that the children will be in this afternoon. Check this classroom out. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? We are extremely lucky. But what I will say, if you do have this resource on your doorstep and you are a school, come on, use it. Okay, so what is the content today? The last term, we had a lovely content of local history, the meaning of history, some geography, a bit of geology, and some art and written work as well. So this term, a lot of science content. Today, I really want them to get to understand what the word habitat actually means. Habitat and habitats and environments, different environments. Today we're on a coastal environment. And I want them to understand the changes and of course then how that affects the creatures that live within those environments or habitats. But I can't get them to understand that until I get them to understand the differences between creatures. Now back in school they've had a pre-teach, they've been talking about different types of animals, whether it's mammals, crustaceans or amphibians, and looking at the differences and the similarities. But then talking about this word, adaption and adaptations. So how the creature is kind of changed or been able to change its form or body to help it live in different environments. I'm down here first thing. This session, massive organisation, big safety going on here. Contact your beaches, obviously, contact the online, tell them you're coming down and know your stuff, know your tides. Organise this session around a dropping tide, a receding tide. That way, the children can physically see how, as the tide drops, or the Atlantic Ocean, get that geography back in from last term, as the tide drops, it leaves different zones. The top zone is the splash zone, where the waves crash and smash and bash and hit the rocks apart and form caves and massive erosion happens, and talk about why certain creatures can live there. I mean, that's pretty harsh environment, the big splash zone. And then as the tide recedes or goes out, you're going to then go through the mid zone all the way down to the lower zone, all those different zones. And they can see this physically happen, so get your tides right. I've come down early. I will now go and forage and look for many different types of creature on the different zone levels. I'll look for creatures in the splash zone, and then I'll tell the children, why those creatures are able to be living there, how they've adapted and changed their body to put up with maybe the smashing waves and the huge tides. I'll even get some crustacea today and talk about exoskeletons. And then we'll look at the differences. We'll look at ourselves and look at their body forms and how different and how similar they are to us. And of course, we get the children to explore themselves. So as well as me guiding them through this beautiful classroom on this crazy adventure of science, talking about habitats and how to observe, really want to get this vocab in and get them to understand the vocab, get them to understand exactly what it means. Get them to find habitats, get them to find the different creatures, and get them to try and really think. Just give them time to think. Why does a crab have an exoskeleton and 8 legs? Why does it walk sideways? Apart from the spider crab, one of the only crabs that can walk forwards, backwards, and always. But that's a different story. Why a tiny little sea anemone, a sedimentary jellyfish, can stick itself to a rock, and why it would want to do that, and what it feeds on. All these crazy, amazing, beautiful, stunning, different forms. But what they are. Is it a shellfish? Is it a crustacean? What makes it a crustacean? What makes a mammal a mammal? But look where we're doing it. It's going to be hands-on. They're going to be involved in a habitat, in different environments, actually looking at the tide drop. So all those elements, or the vocab I will use, will be backed up, with stunning visuals and absolute immersion. Come on, you can't get better than this, surely. So what's going to happen as well, on the back of this video, I'm also going to post lots of little pictures of different things I find, and it will give you an idea of what you could find if you were the teacher, kind of, planning this session. planning this session, okay? So hopefully that makes sense, and I hope you enjoy the pictures, and I'll even pop on to this video and the photographs some identification cards as well that you can kind of laminate and get out there with the children to maybe take some data, tie some maths into it as well. Look at how many different types of creatures you find. Say it's data, we're collecting data, put it into pie charts or even graphs. There's huge content, right? Maths, science, but mainly today for us, big science content, sorry. And obviously, loads of fun. Let's do it.